I'd like to feature today is called Simple English Wikipedia. This is an assistive tech website and can be accessible via a web browser. So you would go to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, whatever you use, and you would type in simple.wikipedia.org, and it would bring you to their main page. What Simple Wikipedia does is it takes a Wikipedia page, which is a website that people from all over the world have helped create about a given topic, and it simplifies that content into simple English. And if you even go to their web page that's bolded right here, you'll see that it's an English language version of Wikipedia, an online encyclopedia that is written at basic level English, which is defined as shorter sentences and easier words and grammar than the regular English Wikipedia. This makes articles easier to understand and edit. And it says right here that it can be used by students, children, adults with learning disabilities, and non-native English speakers. So, for example, I would use this for my students who are taking a general ed material science class right now. I have students who are non-readers. They have low cognition or an intellectual disability, which makes the content more difficult to understand, and they maybe aren't able to spell. So the first way this is accessible is I can type in any content into this search Wikipedia bar, and I can even use the speech to text feature. Plastic. Let's try that again. Plastic. And you'll see it typed in plastic. So, for example, this is the Simple English Wikipedia page. It is not nearly as long, and it doesn't include as many content areas as the regular Wikipedia page, which includes 14 different subheaders, and it includes a lot of really high-level vocabulary words. Within this first paragraph, I noted that there were 16 different vocab words that I didn't think were in my students' initial vocabulary. If you go to the Simple English Wikipedia page, I found really only one vocabulary word that my students wouldn't really know off the top of their head, and it's thermoplastic. And when you cursor over thermoplastic, it shows a picture, and it also gives that definition. Another feature, just using the tools that are on our devices, is you can use text-to-speech, and it works just fine, just like it would on any other device.
A plastic is a material that can change its shape easily.
So it reads it really nicely for our students. And, it can really be used by everyone. It also works with the switch feature. I double-checked that, so it can be used using switches or the space bar as a switch. Overall, the website has a lot of words, which I think would be difficult for an individual that gets overwhelmed by a lot of words on a page or, quite frankly, cannot read independently. I think I would have liked to see a little bit more pictorial support, so maybe a home picture for the main page, or a question mark for the help page, or a phone number for the or a phone picture for the contact us. Other than that, it's really easy to get to the search bar up here and type in anything the user wants in the search bar. Again, we saw speech to text working as well. The online help page mainly focuses on adding wiki pages, so it has a student tutorial and a teacher's guide, and both of those really are manuals for just adding Wikipedia pages, so that doesn't really help with the navigation process. And there isn't really a whole lot of management features because there's no different level options other than Simple Wikipedia being simpler to understand than regular Wikipedia. And there isn't, again, really a manual for this tool, but it is a really easy to follow search engine, just like Google would be, or Bing, or any other search engine students use. So it's very comparable to those items. Overall, I really like the Simple English Wikipedia concept. It's something that I think would help the cognitive barrier that Wikipedia and other search engines have, because most tend to be a lot higher level for students with significant intellectual disabilities. The Simple English Wikipedia page does simplify the content quite a bit. It's not the most user friendly, I think. I think it would take a lot for my students to learn how to use it, but once they learn how to use it, again, it would, I think, break that content barrier. I think that it fits well with the generic Apple and Microsoft accessibility features. I tried on both devices, and it seems to work well with a Microsoft and an Apple product. And I think that because it's free, that increases the value. There's no extra cost, but there's a lot of added benefit. Another area of concern that any Wikipedia page comes with is it's not as reputable as other pages and therefore might not be fully accurate. But I think it's a great place for students to gather general knowledge on concepts. And for the most part, Wikipedia has been proven as pretty accurate. I think I will certainly be using this website for my students who are taking general ed content area classes.